Alright, let's do the power rankings for week 12. First off, let's get our sponsors out of the way, and they are
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius. Real Men of Genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Push-Up Bra Inventor. Mr. Push-Up Bra Inventor. Never before has one man done so much with so little. Lifting them higher. From mosquito bites, pimples, and pancakes to melons, mountains, and Major League yabos. An engineering feat so brilliant it can only be described as va-va-va-boom. Thanks to you, even a 90-year-old grandmother can go from A to double D in a single bound. What's your number, Granny? So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh oyster of the Hooter, because when it comes to the bust, you're the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
and by
When on the croquet lawn, one must be careful not to offend one's opponent with an onset of unwanted odor. Oh, bully. That's why I use Right Guard Sports Stick. Maximum protection against Odysseus, Odorphously, Flacti,
First up is the Iowa Hawkeyes, led by Coach Webb and running back Marcus Coker. Coker leads the nation in touchdowns at the moment with 17. He was a Heisman candidate for a long time. He recently dropped off the list, but I'm sure he'll be back. Might even get that invitation to New York City. Mike has done a good job leading the Hawkeyes to the top. Now let's just see if they can get to the promised land. Recently, though, Coach Webb was heard saying this in a press conference.
Bring me a challenge, somebody.
I'm sure you'll get your challenge soon enough, Mr. Webb. On our second team, the Michigan Wolverines, led by Coach Radio and that bastard of a quarterback he has who I can't tackle over the last 2 seasons. Radio has done a great job leading the Wolverines. He implemented a better spread offense, of course, the Tulsa offense. And the option game works wonders for that team. It's been a long time since I've seen a Michigan team really be able to pound the ball like they have. So, great job, Radio.
Look at this fucking guy.
Alright, let's jump to our third team, the USC Trojans. They're another team that runs a spread offense, and the Trojans have phenomenal wide receivers. Coach Tuco has recruited great there, and that puts them, I believe they're first in the Pac-10 after their big win over Oregon last week. So they're on their way to the Rose Bowl, maybe even the national championship against the Iowa team, which would be a rematch from a few years ago. Fourth, you have Mr. Coca-Cola himself, CA, and his Ohio State Buckeyes. Even though the Buckeyes lost to Penn State early in the year, and they've had a couple hiccups here and there, they've rebounded nicely from the year that they had last year. Let's move on to team number 5, the Penn State Nittany Lions, led by me. And with the victory over Ohio State 3 out of the last 4 years, that's all that really matters to me. The team's led by Paul Jones, who 1 minute can throw 5 touchdowns and run for 3 touchdowns in one game, and then the next game throw 4 interceptions, as the case was against Syracuse this week. We need a little bit more consistency from our team. So, other than that, we'll probably stay at number 5. Let's jump to number 6. The Oregon State Beavers. Coach MG got 2 big wins this season. One was, of course, led by his assistant coach. The other was led by him over Penn State. Beating Clemson and Penn State has put the Oregon State program back on the map, and they got back in the top 25. Well, that helps them build towards a future. With the 7th ranking in our power poll here, let's go with the man from the desert land, Zickery. Coach Zick and the Michigan State Spartans are right there in the thick of things in the Big Ten. They could finish as high as 3rd, as low as 6th, I believe. So I'm eager to see what he does against Penn State and what he does this week against his opponent. Let's go to number 8. The Purdue Boilermakers. A tough loss for Coach S did last week against Zickery. I believe he missed the last-second field goal. in an ugly game. The last 2 weeks have actually been pretty hard fought, against the Nittany Lions and against the Spartans. One they win, one they lose. But again, with the great coaching there, every week's going to be tough. That's just the motto of the whole Big Ten. So let's go to number 9, and the Oregon Ducks, and led by Coach NRG. This year the Ducks fell on hard times, especially when they lost to Arizona. After the game, a couple players were talking, and one was overheard saying this.
Really, Coach? This is a dream come true.
Obviously, he wasn't talking about the loss, but I don't want to get into assumptions of what he was talking about. Okay, let's go to the next team. The Cal Bears, led by Raitai. The Bears are a back and forth team. 1 week they win, 1 week they lose. It's kind of been like that here and there this year. So, not much consistency. If they could get a consistent program going and consistently winning, then they'd probably be up a little bit more on this list. But for right now, we'll keep them there. Let's go to our next team. It's going to be the Arizona State Sun Devils, led by Friskinator himself. Arizona State, not really known for their football program. Yeah, they've had a few good seasons, but Frisk is trying to lead them that way. But what I see from Arizona State is the cheerleaders. Now, maybe it's the cheerleader effect, I don't know, but that's all I really get when I look at that sideline sometimes. So, maybe that's Coach Frisk's distraction sometimes. Let's go to our final team. Our final team is going to be UCLA Bruins, led by Coach Simi. The only reason I put them last is because Coach Sim had just shown up on the scene. So, I'm not even going to get into the Bruins. I talked with him last week. He said they sucked. So, they got a lot of work to do. We'll just leave it at that. But honestly, guys, it's been a great year. Everybody's done a good job. I know Frisk will be leaving at the end of this release, so we got GTG stepping in, and I don't think we'll miss a beat. I know CA's the commish, but from my standpoint, I want to just, like I said, thank everybody for the great job they've done this year. Let's keep it up. Let's finish strong.
'Cause I love me some me.